colleague to my immediate right here is Fisayo Ogunfoyi. Fisayo is of Nigerian Television Authority, Fisayo Ogunfoyi. Sitting next to Fisayo is Somna Samuel. Somna is Abuja Borough Chief.
Director of News.
Okay. You guys are always changing titles.
No.
Director of News. Arise News. Good to see you, Samuel. And of course, on the other side, and to the minister's immediate left, is Mokwe Ogunyoso. Mokwe is of Channels Television. Mokwe, good to see you.
Good morning, Minister.
And the only lady on the panel today. Sitting next to Mokwe is Ayo Ozumbaku. Ayo is Abuja Borough Chief. I hope I got that right. Abuja Borough Chief, TVC News. Good to see you. And of course, the last but not the least is Chijoke Okafo. Chijoke is of ADBN. Chijoke, good to see you.
Good morning, Honorable. Thank you very much.
So, Honorable Minister, here we are. We thought today would never come. There has been so much speculation in the media, so many insinuations that why is this man always having media chats? Is it the spokesperson of the government and all of that? And so, in some cases too, some personal attacks. He's sick, he's been flown abroad, and all of that. Don't these things get to you?
I don't even know if what you are telling me now. I don't read those jobs. I'm very focused. I'm not speaking for government. I'm letting the world know what we're doing under the Tinubu's administration. As Minister of Federal Capital Territory, I owe a duty to let the public know what is happening within the territory, what we are about to do, and what we are going to do in future. It is my responsibility. I'm not a spokesperson for the government. I'm not talking about the federal government. I'm talking about the activities of the ministry of the Federal Capital Territory. If I don't know whose responsibility. Again, he talked about, he talked about somebody and vaccines. We're all human beings. Anybody can fall sick any day, anytime. But it's unfortunate too, I never felt sick to be flown abroad. So these are things you don't need to pay attention to. And then somebody saying that, the president has banned me from having a media chat. It is the same junk news that you carry. Who is responsible of this? The same man who's been collecting money from people, and then Nigerians are listening to him. Sahara reporters carry this and that. How will President ban you of letting people know, letting the public know of what the administration is doing, particularly as it pertains to the FCT territory? So it's not everything you read or whatever you hear, you begin to take it serious.
But does it mean that you were just a special place with Mr. President, in the heart of Mr. President, such that you are about the only minister that is showcasing the achievements of
I don't want to say that. Everybody has those time.
Do you have the permission of the president to be doing what?
Do you need to go and apply to Mr. President that I want to tell the public what we are doing? In most cases, the president will want, by the time the president is even watching and knowing what you are doing, then you begin to even raise you and begin to say, look, I didn't know you were doing this. I thought you were doing this way. I think we should do it this way, right? So it is not whether you are the president's mind or this and that. No, it is your responsibility. You owe the public to tell them, look, this is what we are doing. If you don't do that, it is the same you that will complain that what's happening, nobody knows what's going on. Now we are doing that, and people are saying, why is it telling everybody what it's doing? It is our responsibility, it is our job, and we'll continue to do that. We would have done it since, but because of activities, 20 days, fully occupied, and we say by the time we finish the 20 days, then we'll take our monthly media chat. We must brief the public every month of what we're doing.
Honorable Minister, talking about what you just mentioned 20 days of projects, flagging up of projects. In terms of, what you've done in the past 2 years, we've seen that it's not just about flagging up projects, it's about
timelines and commissioning them later. Are we going to be looking at some of these things come up in the next year again?
Not if we are not getting to next year. We are not going to get to next year. Yes, obviously, I have said here, the third year anniversary, Mr. President, there will be a line of activities that we have to, carry out. But before next year, there are also projects we have, we've lined up that we have to, that we think should be completed, and then we have to commission. Like I said, 20 days is not 2 days. 20 days on stop, from Monday till Friday, from Monday till Friday. That shows that things are happening under the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As pertains to FCT, where the responsibility has been given to I and the Minister of State, I'm sure you are done from how could, 20 days, one project, the other, commissioning, flagging off. It has never happened. It has never happened. And we would have continued, but we said, look, let's take a break. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back. Now that will be focused purely on what we have done or what we are doing in the education sector.
Honourable Minister, we've seen an influx of beggars into the Federal Capital Territory, indiscriminate
Motor parks coming up, and people are asking also, when are the new bus stations in Kubo and Mabushi going to come in place? And then the issues of open grazing too within the Capital Territory. How soon will you be, dedicating attention to all of these issues?
I will talk about the influx of beggars, and I will not talk about the controversial. You said that here before. I said that is the issue of national security. Now, let's talk about the influx of beggars. I've told you that Abuja is at the center of how many states. Everybody wants to move down to Abuja. And you don't have that right to say, look, somebody should not move from Kaduna to Abuja. Somebody should not move from Niger to Abuja. Somebody should not move from Lokoja to Abuja. Somebody should not move from Nasarawa to Abuja. It's a big problem for us. But we're doing all the best we can to say, look, we have to send them back. But even when you do, they still come back. And then people say, okay, why not get a place where you keep them? But it's not our responsibility. If you do that, then you're opening the floodgate of where everybody, wherever you are, will now say, look, Abuja is where we can go, and then they provide accommodation or shelter. It's a big problem for us. But we're doing all we can to see that we reduce that influx. When you say indiscriminate, we have to tell ourselves the truth. One of the reasons why we started doing this bus terminal is because of the indiscriminate motor parks and the rest of it. So it is not as if that this indiscriminate taxi and motor parks started as we came. One of the reasons why we are fighting that is to build these bus terminals and taxis. We have operational problem, but we don't sort it out. I believe, by the grace of God, before the end of the year, that will fully, start the operation of those bus terminals. But that does not mean that will stop it. No, but it will reduce until we build more bus terminals and taxis.
Let me take you up very quickly as a follow-up on the question he asked with national security, with the cattle grazing. I know that at the last media chat, you did say that it was a question of national security, and that if the national security advisor were to get involved, then perhaps we might be able to get a solution to it. Have there been any discussions in that regard?
Yes, the discussions are going on. And in fact, the Minister of Livestock, we have tried to provide where some of these cows will be taken to and what we call ranching. And they're also involved in talking to the Allah and those other stakeholders. As I said, it's not something you can just come up to say, look, it has a lot of implications. And that's why I said it's a national security issue. I believe in the near future that will be sorted out. But the Ministry of Livestock is collaborating with us and other security agencies to see that this is put to rest.
What sort of solutions are you thinking of?
The only thing you can do is only ranching. I mean, you can do that than ranching. That's the only solution. That's the only solution.
All right, Honorable Minister, let me take you up on the issue of waste management, which is something that we've spoken about on this chat over and over again. You have said that it's a very tricky issue as well because a number of small operators who are not very competent have been the ones handling it. What exactly is now happening in terms of getting more competent hands?
After this conference, we have our FC Technical Council and the contracts will be awarded this afternoon. This afternoon.
The contract for waste management?
Yes, we
Is it
awarded.
all over the city?
Yes, this afternoon that will be sorted out. We have our FCT committee meeting by 12 noon today. So the process of contract has been done and that will be awarded today.
Let's talk about
so that will take care of your question. Yes.
Let's talk about Guaripa and Lugbe. They appear not to be getting attention from you, as in.
How do you? Why do you say they are not getting? Are you living in Lugbe? Are you living in Guaripa? Why say that are not getting attention? What attention do you want us to give them?
The state of roads. Some of us will live there. The state of roads.
Everything cannot be done at the same time. Everything cannot be done. If you go to Guaripa, there's a road going on being done by CBC. So it's not correct when you say that. Of course, there's a road going which, what's it called, Johannesburg. What do you call it? Yes, as you're coming now, what do you call it, Northern Parkway. Before you get to the junction of the Life Camp, you also know there's a road at the back here, which you're going to have completed the first phase and completed the second phase by this December. So you cannot say that there's nothing going on in the Life Camp. There's also a road being done by Lubris coming from the Day down to a Life Camp. So it's going on there now. Sorry.
For your neighbors who said they have not felt your impact, even though they are your neighbor.
Where?
If you come out here and you go down this road, your immediate neighbor here is Julius Berger. Right from after your premises down is not. It's like
it is not correct. I have just said here.
It is correct.
Hold on, it's not correct. You cannot say that you must finish the whole road in Life Camp the same day. I just gave you an example. Just there. I don't know the community may call it that, which was commissioned by Mr. President through the Secretary to Government of the Federation, which is the first one, completed. And then they are now doing a bridge linking to general community, which will finish December this year. And then I also told you that this one that we just flagged them by Jonas Berger, what they call the Northern Park Way, is also in a Life Camp. So I don't know what you mean that.
Your Excellency,
Lugbe, especially the road Abuja Technology Village, from Lugbe to Piakasa Road, that vast empty land.
I'm so happy that you are concerned because of what is going on. Everybody wants to have a bit of the cake. But just be patient. Just be patient. It's like when, like I said, when this presidential aspirant before P2B went to one school, and then you came out on television and said, "Oh, public schools are not giving the attention," as if you've gone to all the schools. Whether you like it or not, even if you give us 10 years, we can't solve all the problems at the same time. Some other person has to also continue where we have stopped. So, what is important? Are there projects going on? If I tell you the latest people write, "Oh, please, sir, I know that your attention have not been called up, so. Please, sir, we want you to come to some," which means people appreciate that something is going on. But have patience. When will you reach us?
Now, Minister, a couple of months ago, you had laid out some reforms concerning the administration of estate lands within the FCT.
What?
The administration of
lands.
estate lands in the FCT. You had done some reforms a couple of months ago.
Estates.
Estate, yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
real estate.
Real estate.
Okay.
Now, it appears that there has been little to no action within that area. Do you care to let the cities, because there's been news going around that the minister came into power and he has indeed disrupted the system and is taking over lands. Do you care to speak on that? Because there are allegations flying all around.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, one of the problems we had, and which was very bad, before now, the real what do you call it, parks and gardens,
Yes.
we are allocating lands to people. And then, what's the agreement? Somebody takes the land for the past 15 years for parks and garden. And then, the next thing you see, application for conversion, for comprehensive development. And government said, no, this is not what we expect. And we cannot allow that. And therefore, there was a ministerial policy, ministerial committee that was set up to say, look, I think we have to control this. No more land to any department. If you want to deal with real estate, apply to the lands department, which will bring that application to the attention of the minister. If you want to carry on parks and garden, apply, and then it will come to the attention of the minister of the FCT. It is that now that you ask people say, oh, the minister has come to carry our land. Which is your land? Show me the document that the land belongs to you. You remember before now there was this problem between us, Sunrise, Paco, and the FCT. And where we said, how can you, under what law are you taking over all this land? But thank God today, the two warring parties, Sunrise and Paco, have been able to resolve. And we have settled that, and they were not giving them any title to that. So that is been settled. You've heard about the river park. Yeah. There's no business with FCT and the river park. There's no business.
How is that so, Minister?
Well, that is going on for settlement. People are going. It's not to carry blackmail. The moment you want to do the right thing, blackmail comes in. And for us, we're not going to be distracted by this kind of thing. Ask River Park Estate, does he have any business with FCT? No. He is just a third party who signed an agreement with those that have agreement with the FCT. Unfortunately, this agreement had expired by a fraction of time. So the fight is ought to be between River Park and that company. Unfortunately, that has, and then he went on to give, it's unfortunate the day I went there, I saw you came out. We said, look, we are not taking anybody to work, we are trying to protect you by giving you a different title, a new title, to show that you are the owner of this property. But saying that River Park owns that place, no, it's not correct. It's not correct. That is government land. And government said, look, in order to protect these people whom you have sold to, with their own Nigerians, I would not want to put them in that kind of difficulty where they would use their ordinarily there's no business between River Park and the FCT. But we have to protect them. It's okay. What we do is to give them the title that says they own this area. The other side has not been developed. Please stop. You have no business with the FCT. And somebody comes and carries that propaganda, oh, the minister is taking the land to do the right thing must be done. And when you are doing that, you see all kinds of blackmail. They will go on papers and I would say this and that. That will not affect us. That will not deter us. The right thing must be done.
Honorable Minister.
What's going on between the administration and owners of River Park?
You see, one thing they go to court. The next thing they send people to come to the park. And what you have, well, let us go to court and hold it down before you will leave office. It's not our business.
So no discussion is going on?
As far as we are concerned, no, as far as we are concerned, you have already gone to court. We'll continue to do the right thing, we'll pay whatever it is the court order, but there's no court order stopping us from doing the right thing.
If we move a little bit away from that and look at the issues of the projects that are ongoing right now, we just excitedly spoke about the 20 days of commission. In terms of figures and numbers of youths and Nigerians who will be engaged in all these activities, can we have some kind of estimate? Because naturally, with this quantum of projects, definitely some Nigerians are off the street.
If you take one project, I see the number of people involved as far as employment is concerned. It's huge. It's huge. So if you say 20 projects, either be it provision of water in the satellite time, either be it in terms of road construction, you are taking not less than 2,000 youths being engaged. That is direct, not even the indirect.
And the spin-offs.
And that's going on. So you can see the employment generation that has created. You see that people also who are not working directly, who will be supplying other things to the various contractors. So it's quite huge. It's quite huge.
All right, Honorable Minister, and I must really commend you for that, because in my hometown of Karu, for example, you have given several projects, and I know that some youths have been engaged of recent by the contractors. But I want to ask, Honorable Minister, do you have a tourism master plan for Abuja? Because people say Abuja is soulless. You come inside the city, no arts, nothing. It just looks, in the dead of the night, it just looks somehow. And then secondly, sir, Abuja has one of the best sewage system, drainage system. But of recent, people have been complaining that the drainage system have been having problems whenever it rains. Sometimes people's cars get, quenched in the middle.
Because you talk about blockage and the rest of it. And of course, that's why we're also saying that people must not build on the drainage system. I'm sure when you see the development control bringing down houses or what is going on, you begin to wonder why are they doing this? People are suffering. Just look at what happened recently. I went by myself to see the houses being built by the police. We are building roads that will lead to Lokoboma, and it is under the high tension. And the development control said, we don't give you approval to do this. So when they went there, they were all arrested. And I called the IG and said, look, this is not acceptable. And I went there by myself and I complained to the IG, and I said, look, we are going to look into it. But I said, this property must go down. And we have to bring them down. I went there by myself. In fact, there's one now in Kadua where they say a former chief of naval staff was given for Parks and Gardens. For how many years? And I'm going to go there today after the Executive Council, after the FCT Executive Committee meeting. I'm going to go there by myself and say this for myself. We can't allow this to continue. Simply because you occupied this position before, and then you just take government land. Oh, for how many years that would you say that was given to you? Over 15 years, and nothing has happened. And now government said, no, we can't allow this. Government has taken back their property.
Is that the same reason why you took over the vessel Abuja?
No, I think you have to correct this impression that when you say the same reason. First of all, I have told you, in 2018, the government revoked this and said, you cannot own 11,000 hectares of land. It did not start on land. EFCC is there. And the state security is there. And we have given them about 4,000 hectares. Yes, look at the politics. It's unfortunate.
Is that the 4,000 you give them is mostly hilly areas?
People are looking for such hilly areas. I was watching ASU, the former ASU president. I know him very well. We cannot continue with this kind of blackmail. We can continue with that. Now put it as a condition where we will call off the strike. Was it part of the demand? Was it part of the conditions he gave to government? Now we have said, I mean, look at what he said. Why is government not taking the one of the? Is it how we continue? Is it a country will be? When you want to do the right thing, somebody comes with all kinds of threats. I will not submit. I will not.
All right, you answered my question whether there's a tourism master plan for Abuja.
No, sir. I am coming. Why not wait? Why not? You ask for tourism, you ask for sewage, you ask this. And we have been able to answer the one of sewage and see what development control is being. We have to be patient. That it has to be taken one by one. Remember last time you talked about education. And I told you that we are going to go into education. And I said, look, for now, we have taken a break. Ordinarily, would have got into what we are doing in education. I said, when we come back, after the break we have taken, you will see what we are doing in education. Just take it easy. Remember you also asked last time about the health sector. I said, look, we will take this thing one by one. And by the time we come back for our break, you see what we are doing in terms of health sector, in terms of education. So just be relaxed. Everybody wants to have a bit of a bite of the cake.
If I may, just a moment. If I may, there is this issue about the green areas. We've been hearing conversations around how a lot of people have converted those spaces to either they've converted them or they're not being used for what they had said they were going to use it for. But only very recently, a group of women, had reason to complain because according to them, their own space, they have applied it to what exactly they said, what they were given that space for. And they had cause to complain. They said even after they had been called for verification, it was not yet their turn when their place was demolished. That they had been operating that area for the last 14 years. They had visuals to show what it was like when it was in operation, and that one day they just woke up and their place had been demolished. And that when they raised, they're not owing ground rent. They paid their ground rent in
First
April.
of all, you can't pay ground rent when the property is not yours.
But they pay.
But they pay.
Hold on. You pay ground rent when you have a certificate of occupancy. How can you pay ground rent when you don't have certificate for the occupancy?
Does it mean some officials in FCT administration?
See, some of these things are not correct. I know people trying to bring emotion, which we accept. Oh yes, people are shouting. Let them prove that look at our CFO, and we are paying. There's difference between statutory right of occupancy and certificate of occupancy.
But if that place doesn't contravene urban development, why not encourage them to keep that kind of a place and regularize their status?
What are they really doing?
It was adding to employment and all of
I
that.
have told you here what they had with the parks and garden. Go to lease for so many number of years and go back and come up with a policy that no, this cannot continue this way. It is the property of the federal capital territory. Now this is what we want to do. And for Christ's sake, and say, look, this is the new policy and you have to follow the rules.
Honorable Minister, but shouldn't their years of investment have been considered? These women said it started.
It's not about women. I don't want to.
No, just a moment.
No.
I'm not trying to
Just
emotionally blackmail you.
The issue is not women, and this is what I would not take.
But
the point you are taking, whether you are women, whether you are men,
all right,
this is the policy of government.
Let's use people,
and that you have to follow according to the rules. So this pinning the job down.
All right, let's use
women,
people. Honorable Minister, let's use people
to accommodate the years
of labor that they have put in.
Whether they are women or not. And again, the allegation is that now that you have revoked it and trees were even put
It's
down.
not about revoke. You don't even have a title before you talk about revocation.
Yeah, but the people who are coming back there are going to be doing pretty the same thing that they were doing in that place.
That's not correct. That's not correct. The point we are making is that we always attach emotions to what they say, which is not right. What I'm trying to say is that what was it before? And what's the policy of government now? The policy of government said, look, we have taken back all these lease agreements you had with departments. Some people say, what do you call them? If you go to WUPA, you can't believe in what has happened. People have now come to say they're building real estate. Come on, how? These are the things they shout and say, oh, we had an agreement with the Abuja Environmental Protection Agency. No. Since last year, it's the policy of government that, look, we have to take back our land. And that's what is going on. I am not particularly against anybody, but you have to follow the rules, and that is it. Whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, it's not our business. Our business is follow the laid down rules so that this will go on.
Minister, I have two concerns, particularly concerning the tourism sector. In as much as the FCT administration is doing a lot of work in ensuring that the FCT is kept clean, one particular spot that has been neglected for a lot of years is the Jabi Lake. And with the number of development springing up around there, the water is dirty. The smell there is very pungent. Is there anything your administration is going to do regarding that? That is one. Then secondly, on the issue of manhole covers that were recovered from thieves who had stolen them and sold to scrap metal dealers. Up until now, we have not seen proper replacement of those stolen manhole covers in certain parts of the city, particularly the central business district. Is there anything your administration is doing regarding those replacements?
It is not correct. It is not correct. We have been replacing the manholes. It is our property.
But they are still empty manhole covers.
Obviously that you will say that all these have not been completed, but something is going on. Something is going on. So it is the truth. Something is going on. The point we are making is that, people expect that within so time you would have completed it. I was saying be patient. Today you put this manhole back, tomorrow you see people going to destroy them, to go and sell them. It will take time, but I know that at the end of the day we will sort it out.
The Honourable Minister. The tourism aspect.
There's a question on the table that the Minister has not answered, and I think that has to do with the. I think someone asked the question much earlier. Tourism development plan.
The Environmental Protection Board that they said the sanitation in the city are coming.
The tourism development plan that my colleague Somna asked was what Chijoke was trying to build on about the Jabi Lake. Is there a plan to turn it to a tourism?
Of course, certainly yes. Of course, certainly something's going on. Just like you said, we're sitting down to say, how do we develop the Jabi Lake? Go and see what is going on. It's a mess. But we're thinking of a policy that, look, we have to root dredge the place and clean it up. People have come to say, look, we're interested as a tourist attraction. But we have also said, look, it is not what you think overnight. It's not what you overnight. By the time we clean up that water and turn this as a tourist attraction, it will attract a lot of people, investors to come in. But the point is, first thing first. First thing first. Everybody wants you to develop all the sectors at the same time, which is not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible, but we are doing something that, like now we're talking about this, the cleaning up the Jabi Lake. By the time we finish that, you will see how Jabi Lake has become a tourist attraction. Just take it easy.
Talking about, Jabi Lake and other, even green areas and all that, the need for ecological balance in terms of some of these approvals. What is right under the law is one, but in terms of the environment, is there careful considerations they're being given to even some of these allocations and the places where they are felling trees and all to maintain that ecological balance and city freshness that the green areas, stand for?
Well, you see, again, as the population is coming in and people are moving in, and then talking about the tourist attraction that people the green areas, which will distort the Abuja master plan. We're taking gradually. So there is a very big policy in terms of tourism. But like we said, everybody should be patient. and see what we are coming on with.
Honorable Minister, I want to ask, what is delaying the takeoff of the Abuja University of Science and Technology in Abuja? And then secondly, there have been complaints of multiple taxation within the city center by different tax groups and then outdoor advertising groups, and some of these people harassing a whole lot of people. What's the relationship between the FCT administration and local governments in terms of these taxations to curtail all these issues of multiple taxation?
You have heard us say severally that, look, we are not going to allow the issue of multiple taxation. This has to be harmonized, right? And that's why we're saying, look, area councils, you cannot have multiple taxation. And we're working very hard with them and talking about allowing the business people to thrive, that ease of doing a business. And I think to a greater extent, we have tried to reduce it, because you cannot come up to begin to, nobody knows what taxes they are going to pay. And that is not helping us. It affects the ease of doing business. But as it is today, we're trying to ease it up, we're trying to create an enabling environment, so that everybody will know this is what you're supposed to pay, where you're going to pay, whose responsibility it is.
You address
Science and Technology, sir.
Yes, about the University of Abuja Technology. Have you been there? Have you seen what is going on? Yes. Have you seen that? Yes, they've started. Look at what's going on. We're building projects, hostels, and other things that will make it to the. You see, when you don't have a master plan, people just come up and just go in and do whatever you want to do. It's our intention. If you go to Abuja today, we have created roads. Go and see what we're doing. It will take time. In fact, as at 2 days ago, I was working on the files where projects have been awarded so that this thing can take up. It's not going to be easy, but we are doing everything we can to see that these things are done.
Of course, the university was sponsored by your friend, colleague, Senator Aduda, and while he was in the Senate. It has nothing to do with about friendship. It has to do with the policy of government, that this is the deliberate policy to see that the people of Abuja want this university to take place, and I think that that we don't.
You want us to take a quick break? Okay.
You have to.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
well, let's take a break. We'll be back shortly and continue our conversation on matters happening right here in the FCT, as well as a bit of politics when we return from this break. Please stay with us. Conversation with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory is Nyesom Wike, and we still have a number of questions to go. Let me take you up on this issue, Honorable Minister. I'd like to go back to a question which I had previously asked, which I haven't quite gotten an answer to. I wish I could call them any other name, but they are young women. That's who they are. I know you said we shouldn't bring sentiment into it, but that's who they are. And I know that they'll be watching this conversation with you to see how they can get an answer that they can work with. You have said that they need to follow the law, they need to follow due process. In this instance, they are also saying that the land has not just been taken, it has been reallocated to somebody else. The name of the people, they say, is Abuja City Works. And I do know that on this chat, you have said that, yes, you're going to engage Abuja City Works. They're supposed to do something like what the Dubai City Walk was doing. So was it supposed to be within a master plan that was going to affect some other people who were already along the line of what the Abuja City Walk was supposed to do? And if that is the case, maybe there's supposed to be a general plan. Has there been a conversation with the smaller business owners to look at the impact on their own businesses, what is currently on the ground, and what can be done to actually recompensate the efforts that these people have actually put into their businesses?
Well, I've said severally that sometimes all you hear is when you go to the media. I watched that program, and I watched what were kind of placards and this and that. You see, when you have a problem and you bring to our attention, we'll normally look at it and see whether what you are saying is correct or not. I don't know about being reallocated to Abuja City Work or not. I've not seen that. You are just saying it now. Excuse me. So I like to look at issues, not necessarily media, blackmail. There was nothing I didn't see that they were carrying about me. And sometimes I just laugh. If you have a particular problem and you bring it to the attention of government will always look at it dispassionately. But not just on media. I was saying there's no name that they did not call. Just bring the application and bring the complaints and we'll look at it. Sometimes some of this is from down the road corridor. Sometimes government may have reallocated that if you did not reapply. These are the issues. So it's not a question of sentiment.
Honorable Minister, you're hard to see, you know. You know, a lot of people would like to...
It's not about seeing me.
Yes.
It's about, look.
How do they get their complaints addressed?
I mean, this is very funny. I mean, this is very funny.
I'm just a little curious.
If you apply to the office, you mean I don't treat my bills, I don't treat issues.
So they should write a mail.
Honorable Minister, Abuja will be 50 under your administration. Next year, February 6, Abuja will be 50 years. What are the plans for this, especially the indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory? How is Nigeria planning to ensure that this capital city that has been built for 50 years lives up to the aspiration of General Murtala Mohammed, General Gowon, and others who thought it fit, including Babangida, that we should have a new capital city?
What are we doing now? You are talking about Abuja will be 50 years. We like ceremonies and ceremonies and ceremonies. We are talking about problems of Abuja. How do we solve the problems of the city? And part of what we're doing is by making sure that we change the narrative to Abuja to be that the city is supposed to be. Look at the road networks that they were doing. Look at the development that they were carrying out. These are the dreams of our founding fathers. Sometimes what we are working towards is not a question necessarily 50 years. After 50 years, what happens? So that's what I would say.
Let me take you to the speed of things, spike in insecurity. When you talk about crime rates in the FCT.
What is the spike?
I don't understand. I think there has been a kind of increase.
What is your statistics?
News reports that we hear, cases that we hear here and there, and there are some areas that no-go areas.
Not quite long ago. And then a medical doctor being killed in Kubwa.
I have always said this. Why is it that we do not appreciate our security agencies when they are used to work? Why is it that when one particular incident happens, it becomes a spike? Now, if you look at the statistics of the crimes in the city, are you telling me seriously that the rate of crime has not come down now in Abuja? Let us not be too emotional. Take, for example, you said that arrest somebody, which nobody's happy about that. But that, I don't believe because it is arrest. I don't believe because it is channel. It's our responsibility, it doesn't matter who, to protect life, to protect property and life, not who is involved. All this you are saying now because a colleague of yours is involved. And that means it's a spike. But if another person dies, you won't bother about it. You should give us that, to say that, look, security agencies have done well. The rate of crime in Abuja has drastically reduced. That does not mean that you cannot see any crime being committed. All over the world, every day you wake up, crime is being committed here and there. But that does not mean that security agencies are not tackling it. So when you talk about the spike, what is your statistics? Just because a colleague of yours, something happened yesterday, that means there's a spike.
Yeah, but
you have no statistics.
let us talk about statistics. Is there any way in which the FCT really measures the progress in the areas where it is tackling? For instance,
The areas where it what?
it is tackling, for instance, security, health, education, for looking at maybe, for instance, children who are not going to school, how children are performing. Is the FCT considering also measuring the effort that it is making and the effect that it's really having? So that when issues like this come up, when there's talk of a spike, you can actually counter with facts and figures.
Look at how you think about statistics. Take for example, at the end of every year, take for example, in terms of security now, we know incidents that are taking place. We know attacks that took place. So we'll be able to say, look, from January to December, for example, we had incident of kidnapping, 20 incidents, for example. We have armed robbery attacks, say 10. We have assassination, say 5. Right? And then you compare, as of 2024, what we had about kidnapping was 3, for example. Now you can now say, oh, in terms of kidnapping, the number increased in 2025 as against 2024. That's why you talk about statistics.
Indeed.
So it's not a question of if something happened yesterday, then because of that incident, you just say, oh, that's a spike. Meanwhile, in the past 4 or 5 months, you've not heard of anything. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Because we understand that you need to change to your schedule. You have an emergency meeting that you ought to be attending in another 30 minutes. So maybe it will be ending much earlier than scheduled. So we have just about 30 minutes.
Why?
So
our program is only 2 hours.
We still have about 30.
No, this is after 11.
Okay, and that means
This is 11. No, it's an executive council meeting by 12.
Okay, all right. So let's
emergency meeting.
Before we get to politics, we should be discussing politics. But just before we get to politics, just one more question on Abuja issues. I'm asking this question because I understand that you have been there. I had the misfortune of being on that road on a rainy day. It's a road in Kubwa called Arab Road.
Kubwa?
Yes, Arab Road in Kubwa. And I understand you've been there and you expressed displeasure about how those who were doing quarry work on that swore that very massive road and all of that. What is the plan going forward to address the problem of that road? Because it's a very major road.
Why? No, I don't agree with you. Every road is major. It's not because there's a quarry, therefore it becomes a major road. Every road that's being used by citizens should be attended to. I don't like a situation where, because you have your interest in a particular, no, not you. Maybe you may have a friend who has an interest, and then you make that road to be so special. No. Anyway, we have discussed with that with a company called Zebrazit. So we have discussed with it, and we told them that, look, you are operating here, and so you have also to make some contributions. And we have agreed. It's a road that in the next few weeks will be awarded. Okay. I hope you're happy now. So you will tell your friend that that road will be awarded.
It's not my friend. I said I had a discussion of being on that road. You should have asked me what I was doing there.
I will ask you.
Finish. Apologies, guys.
Honorable Minister, as a PDP man, you were quoted in one of your most recent outings as saying there will be a political tsunami soon. It is Tinubu all the way. I believe Nigerians deserve to know what that statement meant, really.
No, I didn't say that it's Tinubu all the way, that
a political tsunami. These were your words, Minister.
Why? But tsunami had been happening. Don't you see people leaving their parties and just tsunami?
But I believe Nigerians would really want to know in depthly if this tsunami is in favor of the APC and, of course, the Tinubu-led administration, like you have always asserted that you will support come 2027.
I don't know about whether the political tsunami will in favor of the APC. All I know that there will be political tsunami. So
but you lamented then that you are not happy about what is happening to your party.
I've always said
the gains of the APC is the loss of your party.
I've always said from day one. So the issue is not about lamented. From day one, I've said that with what is going on, if it continues to go on, that PDP will continue to lose. I have said it severally. And that if things are not done properly, we will regret it. And that's what happened today.
Let's just the governors of Enugu State and Bayelsa State who had left the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress alongside two other senators. How did this news come about to you, particularly as a PDP man?
How will it go about to me? Well, I have not said that so many governors will leave. Is it the first time you have had me say so? It's very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. The governor was the chairman of the convention committee. It is very embarrassing.
All right.
Let me finish. Diri was the chairman of the zoning committee. Even though I knew from beginning that they are all playing games. I knew it from beginning. I said it before. I said it. So there's nothing I said that has not come to pass. Tell me one.
A lot of people say you are still bitter about losing out to the former vice president in that primary of the People's Democratic Party. Since that time that you vowed to pull the house down.
Which house?
The People's Democratic Party.
The house that has died since.
All right.
That you are the main person dividing the party.
Well, I don't know about dividing the party. Let me tell you. I have said before. When you do the right thing, you get the right result.
What do you want?
What
the
I
People's
want
Democratic Party.
What I want, the right thing should be done.
How?
What's the right thing?
Okay, take for example, you talk about the right thing. Remember, I told them that, look, when the issue of secretary started here, I said, what you are doing is wrong. Follow due process. They said they are governors, they would decide. I said, no, it's not done that way. You saw what happened at the end of the day. The matter go to Supreme Court. Even when Supreme Court decided, it was still a problem. I said, this will kill the party. Allow it till when the convention is almost there. No opposition party carries out impunity in this way. The opposition party is to put themselves together to take over power from the ruling party. But in this case, you appear not to be interested. All you're interested is, look, we are governors, anything we start to do, whether it will help you or not, is immaterial. It's immaterial. And I was a governor, and I told people, and when you say, oh, when you were a governor, we're not doing that, okay. Assuming do not conceding. If I did it yesterday and it favored me, it does not mean that if you do it today, it will favor you. Circumstances change. And therefore, you must be very careful. What is happening to people is just self-inflicted. For nothing.
All right, your former colleague Kabiru Turaki has been endorsed by some Northwest leaders, including former acting chairman Ahmed Makarfi, who was also a former governor, and all of that. But then, just last night, we had Umar Bature, National Organizing Secretary, and some other stakeholders too from the same Northwest coming to say that they're against that. And some feelers are saying that maybe you are linked to this Umar Bature-led group, and that the major thing here is that you don't want the National Convention to hold because of the Samuel Anyanwu factor, who he claims that his signature was allegedly forged to send to INEC. What's your view on all of this?
Tell me, if it happens in the West, it is me. If it happens in the North, it is me.
Because you're a powerful
when
minister.
You take the wrong step, you will achieve nothing. I have told you before, the problem we have because we are governors, and I've said this, you go and take a decision, and then you sideline certain people, What do you expect to have? You have a faction. Is that not embarrassing? I don't want to even talk about that. What is the National Convention? What are you in National Convention for? Why are you not following due process in the National Convention? I have said it and I continue to say it. The moment you think that you can sideline certain people and nothing will happen, you cause a major crisis in the party.
What are you doing to rescue the people?
We were governors before. It has never happened. Let me just tell you this. When Buhari was in power, there was nothing the government then did not do for PDP to scatter. There was nothing. In fact, Modu Sharif was being used to scatter PDP then. We stood firm and made sure the party was strong. You can see clearly. Now, there's not even any attempt by any government to try to put a party that you are the one on your own destroying your party.
The party says no. They claim the APC has a hand in all of this.
Listen. I said we were governors. Who claimed? Who is pursuing who? I had a major threat as a governor. That alone would have made me to say, okay, let me better go and join to save my head. It's not correct. Yes. I never.
How was it? I was just what I wanted to.
There was no governor that was fought the way the government fought me at that time.
Yeah, but you just mentioned a major threat.
No, I said then. Yeah. The point I'm making now is that every day you say APC, every day say, why do we have to allow a one-party state? Are you telling me that, take for example, this is a ruling party and you are the opposition party? It is the duty of the ruling party to beg you to put your house in order so that we won't have a one-party state. Who does that?
Well, they said that's why they brought you into government, a one-man government of national unity. Yourself and Ashwaju doing a one-man government of national unity. The PDP didn't sanction officially your coming into this government of national unity.
It's not correct.
With the APC.
It's not correct.
But you said, yes, that you are claimed that you got permission to get into this government. But the PDP just seems to be going down. And people say, with the role Rivers State has played, people like you over the years, are you not worried, sir? What more can you do? Just like you brought peace to Rivers State, how can you bring peace to PDP, sir?
I have told you severally. You have asked me this question severally. Let us do the right thing. Let us do the right thing. You are the one now who said here that some people adopted Turaki. And then some people came out and said no. Why? They said, we are not even consulted. Okay, take for example, as the national organizing secretary of a party from a zone, will not be a party to adopting somebody as a consensus candidate. As former governorship candidates from a zone, you hold such crucial meeting without letting them know, simply because they are not governors. So when you make a fundamental mistake by arrogating powers to yourself, of course you suffer the fate.
But let's look at the status quo as it is now. The last footprint of your party in the Southeast just went away, just now. There's no other footprint in terms of, governorship, cadre in the entire Southeast. Now we're talking about whether there will be a convention, there will be a convention, there are court cases and all that. As somebody who's played a major role in making this party stand, would you now be content to fold your arms and say, I told you so, as against perhaps being proactive to make sure that you fight these fires?
Why do we say folding my arms and being proactive? So all this while I've been saying anything, you don't consider it. Have I not said before now that the boo-boo trap you are setting will consume you? Have I not told you before now? The way these present governors are doing, they will bury this party. Have I not said before now that as opposition, we don't need to act with impunity? Look, I'm an FCT minister, for Christ's sake. Forget about whatever you think. Are you telling me, as it is today, because I'm not a governor, you go and hold PDP meeting, you call them stakeholders, and then you exclude me, and then you want to survive? No, okay, assuming I'm not even the FCT minister, by the role I have played in PDP till now, simply because I'm not a governor, I cannot be consulted in taking decision of the party? Certainly not. Certainly not. So when you see let me tell you, and I have told them, and just mark it, all this way you are calling APC, calling this and that, is barbarous, rubbish. Rubbish. Is it the APC that's making you to take the wrong decision? Is it the APC that's making you to take the wrong decision? What is there? You mean me, I will sit, and then 2-3 people say because they are governors, they are getting so much allocation. Then you go and decide, and then you tell me, follow. Follow who?
Isn't that the template that the PDP had always been using?
No.
It has always been the governor.
That is why I say you make mistake. And when you make this mistake, okay, take for example, okay, assuming it is correct, it favored me yesterday. Doesn't necessarily follow that if you do the same thing, it will favor you. You don't do that. Therefore, also say this. Also say this. When we were governors, why was it that no governor left? You see that we didn't have problems. We fought to be chairman of the party. It got to Supreme Court. You know that. Why is it that people didn't leave?
Well, the party in power. So
no, it's not correct. We were not in power then. We were not in power. APC was in power. Under Buhari, yes. APC was in power. We were not in power. But the point remains, why is it that people didn't leave? You have to show leadership. You have to take responsibility. You have to show commitment. There's no commitment by coming out on the pages of newspapers and television houses.
And all of this.
It has never happened. It has never happened. Now look at it. Look at the crop of leadership you have within the governors forum. It's not abusing Wike is the matter. No. You have abused Wike severally. What is the result today? You have called Wike names. What is the result today? What is the result today?
Honorable Minister, they say all of this are being, targeted at making sure that the elective convention doesn't hold, and eventually PDP doesn't end up presenting a presidential candidate in the 2027 election.
Every day, yes. That's the one convention. What are you doing that they don't want the convention to hold? If you do the right thing, would anybody challenge the convention? If you do the right thing, look, you see, people think they are too smart. You have not done your congresses of those who will participate in that convention. All you are interested to say, let's go and do convention. You want to deny so many states of participating in the convention. I will say, look, you cannot do that. You say, in Anambra, there's no executive committee. In Ebonyi, there's not. Southeast, there's not.
So is it safe to conclude that you really do not want the convention to hold?
That's what you are concluding. What I'm saying is that do the right thing so we can come out with a good convention.
And if the convention doesn't hold, will you be happy that a former governing party in Nigeria doesn't have national officers and it doesn't have a presidential candidate in the 2027 election?
Oh, you are telling me if I will be happy if they don't hold.
That's what they are claiming. That you will be happy.
Okay. Will I be happy if you go and do a wrong thing? Will I be happy? Will I be happy you deny people the opportunity to participate in the convention? Will you be happy I sit down, you go to Lagos or somewhere and say you have zone secretary or something to yourself? The only way I will be happy is do all the wrong thing. Then go and have what you may call convention. And then the result you have in mind, you produce it.
Minister,
that's the only way I will be happy. Eh?
Minister, these waves of defections do not seem to be ending anytime soon. And there is one question that has been lingering over and over again that might even seem like a taboo question, but I will ask it. Is Nyesom Wike going to leave the PDP anytime soon?
You've asked. If you don't have any other question to ask, you just
Minister, are you still in the PDP? Are you still part and parcel of? Because people have said that you are one leg in, one leg out.
Calm down. You are the one who said by party PDP. Why are you changing again? You stated here first. Your party PDP.
Yes.
Then you are not telling me. Am I still in the PDP?
Okay,
you have answered the question.
Okay. Honorable Minister.
Maybe we should ask reportedly, and Honorable Minister, please look at the cameras when you ask. When will you formally join the APC?
Have I ever had a meeting with you that I want to join the APC?
But your colleagues, your people, your proteges, almost everybody linked to the APC.
Mention one in Senate. Mention National Assembly. Mention House of Assembly who have left in Rivers.
Well, there are plans to.
They have
you see,
because you are still in the PDP.
You cannot answer, but look at those who have left.
But they are loyal to you.
I was thinking by now you would have told Diri that the assembly should vacate their seat.
But Diri is partyless now. He's not in APC. Neither is he in PDP.
Okay, if we assume that you don't want to answer that this particular question.
Which question?
When are you going to defer? But let's ask another one, and that is, if that convention for next month holds, would you attend?
If it holds, if a proper convention is to be held, why won't I go? But I won't go to a convention I know there are a lot of illegalities. How do you expect me to attend a convention that I know by law you could have no convention?
I want to work with Governor Sheyi in bringing peace and making sure that that convention comes into fruition.
Is Sheyi Makinde the problem?
He has been the one galvanizing support for the People's Democratic Party.
He has been the one galvanizing support.
Yes, at the forefront.
In which state has he galvanized support? That we are losing governors every day.
Honorable Minister, your former boss, Goodluck Jonathan, is set to actually, I need to really ask this question. Okay. Your former boss, former President Goodluck Jonathan, is said to have an interest in contesting the 2027 election, and part of the plans is what has seen someone like Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, your former colleague in the Federal Executive Council, being brought in as PDP National Chairman ahead of these plans. What would a Jonathan ticket look like in the PDP?
You're the one telling me here. Jonathan has never told me. He has never called me one day that look, I'm being pressured to run what they are thinking. If he calls me and asks me, I'll be able to tell him my mind, what I feel. So I will not, because people put something on the pages of the newspaper, just like you said, they flew me out of the country. Then I now assume it's correct.
Yes, social media.
2, I don't know about Tanimu Turaki becoming chairman.
Wow.
I don't know about that. Maybe he's becoming chairman for another faction. It's not PDP, I do.
Honorable Minister, if I may deviate a bit from politics, in recent, there's a case that's current. Yeah, it's 11:24.
Yes, I said we're not.
Oh, we are. Yes. Oh well. Just quickly, a case currently ongoing, Mazen Namdi Kanu's case in court. There was a protest on Monday, but he was set to open his defense yesterday, and you were listed as one of his witnesses.
Compelling witness.
Alongside a number of other notable Nigerians, so former Attorney General, some governors, former governors as well, and another minister, Dave Umahi, was listed as well. I do not know if you are aware of this and why it is that you have been listed as one of the witnesses in this case.
And if you see Nnamdi Kanu, you ask him, why did he list me? I did not go to say I want to be a witness. You are the one saying that. So if you see him, ask him, why did you list Wike as one of your witnesses?
Have you not seen it?
I'm coming. I don't list. See, you don't become a witness by reading newspaper. Nobody has served me any process. Nobody has subpoenaed me. So because I saw Wike's listed, therefore, I'm going to run helter skelter. No, you don't do that. If I am served, if I'm subpoenaed to come and give witness or to give evidence, I must obey the court. I must appear. But not on pages of newspapers. Nobody does that.
Excellency,
and so as to pass, why I should be listed,
because of the
he who chooses me there, you should ask him the question. But if I am invited, if I'm supposed to come, go home and sleep. I will be there.
Just a moment though. Are you a little curious as to, I don't know whether why you've been listed, and then 2, this question of a political solution to this matter. Is it something you've also considered as well? I know it's not within your purview.
When you talk about the curiosity, what's my business there? They know, they have the reasons, they know why. So I will not begin to, begin to speculate. I don't. All right. As for political solution, I don't want to comment on that.
All right. Okay.
I don't want to comment on that.
You're like the governor of the city. A whole lot of Abuja residents, your own residents, were unhappy with the way the city was disrupted on Monday. Many people couldn't go to work because of all of this. As someone who's in charge of the city, sir, what do you do to relate with the security agencies and others to assure residents that their businesses, their houses will not be... How can you make them feel more comfortable?
I don't see what was disrupted. The security agencies have to provide security to make sure that nothing happened, nothing was disrupted. So when you say everywhere was disrupted, somebody was trying to threaten the security of the place. And security agencies said, no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And I assure the resident that go about your businesses. Nothing will happen. Right. Yes, within some time, yes, because of security, some people were not able to carry them. But that does not mean that the entire city was no, it's not correct.
Honorable Minister, this is not correct. This should not take full time because we're leaving now. Did you try to influence the choice of an INEC national chairman?
To influence
the choice? Because there were insinuations
Justice Liman
that
retired.
you reached out to some members of the Council of State not to attend the last Council of State because the person that had been nominated by the President was not the person who...
Why do you people always read Sahara reporters this week? So why do you say that you sit down and you even if you don't have anything to do, why do you listen to some? Is there anything Sahara reporters have carried about me that is correct? How can you, of what is the basis? And look at the story. How could it be? How could it be?
You were supposed to be at that Council of State meeting and you were not there.
No,
it was speculated that you were angry with the president.
Angry with who?
With Mr. President.
For
that was why you asked the Minister of State to go and.
Anyway. Let me just. Some people. No, don't just answer.
So we can go.
No, you must go. So I'm going to just answer. The point I'm making, first of all, I told Mr. President I took permission because already there was engagement. So I told my Minister of State, you have to. It's not about person. It's office. If my Minister of State attended, I have attended. Because if I'm there, she will not be there. It's like in NAC meeting on Thursday yesterday, I was not there. I tried to go and represent because I had to give a lecture at ECOWAS. I don't understand people. Now you said I influenced former heads of state. Is that a joke or what? And then sometimes, like I said, you don't need to bother yourself about some of these junk. But you were told that they have banned me from having a media chat. So it's totally rubbish. Totally rubbish.
Right.
And let us not continue to give these people the opportunity to write whatever they want to. There are some stories you read. You don't even need to call the person, did this thing happen? Because it's complete rubbish.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for allowing us to have this. We really appreciate that because we are also conscious of some other official duties. Fisayo?
Thanks for this opportunity. Hopefully, of course, we'll come again to speak to you as the projects continue to move on.
Honorable Minister, thank you so much. And I want to end by saying that the FCT administration needs a new policy for Abuja's indigenous people, sir.
You just have to bring that here.
Honorable Minister, we continue to thank you for opening your doors to engagements with journalists. We also hope that you will find ways to engage with the public, especially when they have grievances with some of the policies of the FCT.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Always a pleasure, Your Excellency, to speak to you here.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. We look forward to the next session.
And it is my advice too that you, the media, should try as much as you can to fight to ascertain the truth. You owe the public the duty to say what is the truth and not on emotion, on people who carry placards on the television. Then you believe that, they are suffering and this and that. All those things could be set up. So you owe that responsibility.
Well, like a door, we reflect what is in and what is out. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's the end of this edition of Ministerial Chat. We'll see you next time. On behalf of all of us, my name is Benga Arulema.